And we're live.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like I'm a lot farther away from the camera now.
Yeah.
Before it was just kind of like waist up. Like, oh, okay.
It's all right. Yeah, I gotta pick a spot and put the camera in the same spot every week. It's just more fun to never know what it's gonna look like.
Where will they be this week? Right? We should just do a cast with like not even on screen.
Right.
Just like pointed at the ceiling, right next to the floor, awkward corner of the room over here. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're live, but you can't see us.
Yeah, you can see us. Are we?
All right. So finally, I'm going to get it right now. Ready?
Yep.
So Blackout Weekend this weekend. So
That's
this
correct.
Sunday.
Yeah, this
yes.
Sunday. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Yeah, I've been seeing your Instagram with the minis, the painting and the.
I still only have one mini painting.
Oh, just the one?
Just
okay.
one painting, right? Although I did, because I wanted, like, I held off for a while because I want to do that unboxing. I just said, okay, if we're going to play it, I just got to get the stuff like out and cleaned up and on bases, and started to assemble the MDF terrain. But I've been working on like the one pilot model. It's kind of like the test model because it was included free in the box for ordering so much. So it's not, it doesn't have stats. Like you can use it kind of like for whatever you want. But I've gotten the other miniatures, the Boars and the UN Force. They are Zenithal primed.
Okay.
And I figured they're cleaned up. That's all I'm going to do. I do want to leave them with like little nubs on their feet because I find that helps for like the painting stick or whatever. So I think I'm going to blue tack them onto like the base.
Cool.
So we'll have the actual models to play with and stuff. They'll just all be white. Well, Zenithal primed, right?
Right. Cool.
And I got to finish assembling the terrain.
Nice.
Almost done with that. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that looked pretty involved. That looked like, yeah.
It's actually not that hard.
It's not too bad. Okay.
I mean, it's some of it is a bit. It's not difficult.
Mhm.
It just kind of takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's some really nice designs where you're like kind of putting multiple layers. You get a nice 3D because there's many layers, like framing for the windows and doorways, and then other panels and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, this has similar stuff. Yeah, cool.
Mm.
But I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting my butt kicked like nobody's business, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm really curious about the system. So we'll see how it plays.
Fast, lethal,
Nice.
and hopefully, yeah.
Very good, very good. Well, it's good to see everybody in the chat.
Hi, chat.
Hey, Calerion and Cork is here, and oh, Matt. Hey, Matt.
And someone called Restreamed.
And Restream. Hello, Restream. Yeah, that's the chat to every chat that we're streaming to.
Right. Okay. Chat to every chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello. So there's just like platforms that are just like, why is this person answering a question that wasn't asked in this chat?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it makes them curious about where else are they streaming. Yes, good to see everybody. Oh, Andrew Oates, hey, how's it going? Right, very cool. Yes, so yeah, we'll be doing that this weekend, and we'll be going back to the old school essentials.
Nice.
So it looks like, we've had a player step back from the kind of regular player. Actually, Will, one of the regular players, kind of wants to step back. We're doing kind of 2 sessions a week, so it's like 7-8 hours a week. It's like that's a pretty big ask.
That's a lot. Yep.
Yeah, so he's going to take some time off. So Matt was thinking about just shelving the Swords of the Serpentine for now. That was kind of our second, our other game, and maybe we'll just make the once a week, the Friday, the regular thing, or Saturday in Japan.
Yeah.
So the Friday night, and so we'll pick up with some old school essentials because we've got a new player.
Cool.
So we're going to lose Will, but there's going to be lots of random NPC dwarves, I have a feeling, wandering around in this game. And but that's a shame because it's really fun. That was the kind of group. So Matt, Will, and I were the group that just started playing online, and it actually worked. Like that was a shock for me because I had no good experience at all.
Online,
yeah, dealing with.
Well, you don't find people to play on with like chat roulette.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just don't do the randos, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So, but Will said, yeah, once he kind of feels better, gets kind of back to normal, he would like to try it again. But we'll see. So we'll see what we're up to, and kind of what's kind of the next step. But Space 1999 did just arrive. Nice. I wanted to mention that if you're interested in that at all, Modifius has like a limited number. They're like counting down the limited copies on the
scarcity, right?
Yeah, right. That maybe to get people to buy on their website, but their shipping internationally is brutal for Modifius. The Jerry Anderson website, so all of the like basically everything that they do, like what is that, Captain Scarlet and Thunderbirds and all that Marionation stuff. So all of that stuff plus Space 1999, the models and everything are on there. You can get the RPG book, free shipping internationally. So they're based in England, so free shipping anywhere outside of England is pretty amazing in this day and age. It's full retail price for everything, but there's no shipping.
Yeah, no shipping.
So, yeah, that's a huge discount.
Yeah, in my experience from ordering stuff around, it seems like stuff ordered from the UK gets here a lot faster than anything ordered from the US.
There used to be Royal Post and Japanese Mail used to have a really good relationship because it used to be you could almost get 3 days. You could almost get it 3 days. And like, how is that happening? But yes, early days when I'd order stuff from the UK, Japan was a great place to be. That's definitely changed. How they route stuff and everything is different. Maybe the UK is having the same kind of postal problems America is as far as funding. But we'll see. But yeah, so we'll get back to that. So I've got the full book and included the PDF automatically, plus a ton of extra supporting. So Modifius must have given them a bunch of supporting PDFs, character sheets, and everything just included in the bundle. And I also got the operations manual, which is the kind of the plans, the designs for all of the technical stuff, the layouts for the Moonbase Alpha and Eagles and everything. So can't wait.
You're gonna make marionettes?
Oh no, no marionette! I was laughing about. Everyone has
to show up with a marionette.
Yes, but yeah, so that should be fun. That was a fun, 2D20, so it's a
okay,
fun
cool,
system.
interesting.
All right. And yeah, so yeah, and we'll try to maybe do a stream, hopefully if someone's around to kill the spam. But we'll try to do one of our scuffed battle reports for and live stream some of the blackouts, so you can see what that at least looks like and how it plays.
It looks like unpainted miniatures.
Okay. It looks really white.
And MDF terrain. Okay. Yeah, as far as I got, yeah.
Looks very raw and new.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get started for this week. Yeah, good to see everyone. So just, yeah, a bunch of little stuff this week again, but I'm going to try to end a little strong here. All right. Welcome to the weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the weekly, DriveThruRPG price hikes again. We just talked about that last year. Mantic's new digital plans.
Okay.
Hasbro's Magic lawsuit, their investors are suing them, and the Darkest Dungeon fail. Meaning they had some shipping, they're just kind of giving up, and they're doing something about it, which is, I don't know, I'm curious what you think about their response. And also Empire of Bones. So let's start. So a bunch of nonsense business stuff, but yeah, we just talked about in March of last year that huge, as much as 50% price hike for the US for print on demand. Like they had a huge one. This one is not as bad, but of course it's worse for America. And people in the comments are like, yeah, maybe you should stop fucking around with tariffs with Canada, because that's where the trees are and the paper and the printing industry kind of needs trees, and you're messing this thing up. So yeah, America's going to take a bigger hit than anybody else. But basically, this is Lightning Source, which is owned by Ingram, the biggest distributor of books, worldwide. So this is their print on demand service. And so it's going to affect the US, the UK, and Australia. So they're
Japan escapes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So the UK and Australia get about a 3% price increase, and US is probably going to be about 4 or 5. But for the premium, that's an additional 4 or 5. So it's going to be up to like 10%. If you're going to go premium color or black and white, which is a much nicer result. Really, you should, if you're going to bother spending the money, and even if you're just doing it black and white, do the premium and do the premium option, because it's so much nicer.
I've never actually considered myself. I think the last premium colored book, hardcover book I got from DriveThruRPG was the most recent, I believe, like Vampire, like the Strix Chronicles, which was like 5 years ago something. And like, yeah, I opted for the premium, but given what shipping is over here to Japan, I never did one of those tests where I'm like, okay, let's get this in normal, let's get this in premium to really compare. So the premium was nice, the color looked nice, but I have really nothing to say, oh yeah, it's much better than the standard.
Yeah, I think my Dark Sun, that I got, that kind of Dark Sun, was just the kind of a standard quality, and it's a little soft, a little blurry, because it's just digital scans at the end of their
oh, that also might have been it too, because that was just scanned. It wasn't like
right. Yeah, so yeah, as good as you can get is probably just for clear illustrations and for sharper text and stuff. It's worth it. But these changes are going to take effect on February 1st. So
I almost said tomorrow. No, 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. Yes. And so DriveThru says this is not driven by policy or positioning, but simply reflects the rising cost of paper and other materials, labor, and operations involved in producing physical books worldwide. Yeah, so this is probably just price hike passed down to them from Lightning, and there's nothing they can really do about it. It's not like they're like they're not doing a Games Workshop thing where they're trying to cushion inflation for 5 years in the future or whatever. So it's not that bad, and it is close to like an inflationary kind of, I don't know, in a year though it's pretty fast. But so get them if you're planning on getting anything. Got anything in a shopping cart?
2 days. You got 2 days to get them in the shopping cart.
Order it now. Yeah. It'll be a little bit more expensive next time, but so that's and people are thinking about maybe tariffs on Canada are not good for the publishing. And I did just hear like on another kind of publishing, I'm sure this is related to Ingram as well. The other big distributor worldwide has discontinued as of last year, I think November of last year, mass market paperbacks.
Oh, I saw something about that.
The best books in the world. They last forever. You can beat the hell out of them. I love those things.
Well, they're cheap. That's why you can beat the hell out of them. Like, I don't really care what.
And they're going away. And they blamed it on like there's just no point of sale for them now. They don't have them by the checkouts. The bookstores are in decline. Drugstores don't have that spinning rack of Harlequin novels. So that's the best way to read, sci-fi and fantasy books, is just those mass markets that you can just beat the hell out of, that just last forever and you can pass them around forever, So that's a shame. So get them while you can, if there's any bookstores, clearing stuff out or having those sales, because they're not making any more. If you want something that actually fits in a bag and
if it fits in the bag, you ought to get like the Japanese.
yeah.
But I saw years ago, a copy of the George R.R. Martin Song of Ice and Fire stuff, and I'm like, cool. I like little pocket size, but you got to buy 3 of them to get the whole book, right? Because they're just not small, right?
They standardize. That's the interesting thing in Japan. They make these tiny little pocket books, but
they're not even B5.
They're
like B6.
Right. Yeah, they're really tiny, but that also means that it's multiple volumes for most things under 500 pages or whatever. But it's so nice because then they make a standard book cover for everything, and it's really nice here. I mean, readers are spoiled here.
That part of me does cringe when I see the collection of book. Oh, the one that got from a different problem. I'm like, number 3 is just bigger and right. It does bother me, but then I'm like, all right, whatever. Yeah.
Yes. And the one thing that DriveThru has been doing for a little while is a number of the UK publishers in the past few years have been allowing North America to buy from the UK store to kind of help them price-wise, so they didn't face that deal with that 50%. But that's going to end now with this latest increase, it looks like. So it keeps going up. Everything keeps getting more expensive, but PDFs suck.
Everything keeps going up, except the numbers on my paycheck.
Yes, right, except your salary.
All right.
But Mantic is here to solve that problem. So I was a little bit worried when I saw this, because I'm like, they're going to fuck me. They're going to fuck me. But they didn't. They actually are respecting the early adopters, the early birds, as I consider myself, are still going to get a decent deal. So Mantic is doing a whole new kind of digital offering for how they're going to sell minis, and they're going print on demand. So they're kind of going to do the Only Games kind of thing, where you're going to get 3D printed models, photoresin, straight from them, or probably the ABS stuff straight from them. So that's a huge change, and that's something that if they can do this well and can keep, because that'll keep everything in print. Nothing goes out of print, nothing is impossible to find. That means everything is going to be around. So they're going to offer. They're still going with their companion digital rule set, which is really nice because it's the rules for every one of their games, every list, a list builder, and everything all in one place. But this is all. So for a while, I guess it's been a while now. It's been 34 months. Mantic has been doing their digital archive of STLs, which is a monthly subscription, and they have a little bit of it's more support stuff and extra stuff, like optional weapons. But they were doing full fleets for their Armada game. So those were coming out as part of this collection. So what is it, 20 to 40, depending on the sizes, miniature STLs every month were in these packs, plus a welcome pack with a lot of dice holders and silly stuff. But recently now they've started to do stuff more directly on My Mini Factory, and it's a little bit confusing now, because when I bought the Epic Warpath, it's on both My Mini Factory and the Mantic website, and they're separate accounts, so they're not shared. They're not linking, which would be a thing they probably should do. But it looks like Mantic, their plan is to make it all on their web store. So so it's going to keep it all in there. So they're going to have to be very clear, though, because to be doing both print to order, you're going to get something physical, and this is only an STL, is going to have to be very clear on the website, because people can be easily confused. So they're going to continue to do the monthly packs, but their digital store is getting, they're going to start providing everything. They're going to do releases. They're they're not going to do everything available all at once, but they're moving towards having everything available as STLs and print on demand. So you'll be able to order them both ways. So a whole dedicated storefront for both the and also they'll do deals, because they do their mega armies and stuff, where you want 2,000 points and you just buy it. And so now you can do that digitally, which will be a lot cheaper. Of course, then you're gonna have to start printing everything. But so this will allow you also to do it'll be very pick and choose if you just want one specific model. And even so, you can use these Mantic models then for RPGs and stuff, because if you just, a specific hero or something, you can buy a single STL. For the dedicated print on demand, they're going to start with their Salamander army from Kings of War. And also the 2 armies that they've already offered digitally, but they're going to do, the 4 armies, the 4 starting factions for Epic Warpath. So those are going to be their kind of first tests for, and hopefully they're not going to make the Trench Crusade, or I guess Only Games kind of didn't have great quality assurance and fulfillment at the beginning. So this will be a big test for them, because they've got to maintain the quality. They can't send, messy, broken, badly printed stuff. And also the big question is like, what kind of turnaround is that going to be? Like that's they're going to have to kind of prove their whole business model. If they're going to take all of this on board, that's a lot. That's something they've never done. I mean, just like paying for tooling and having that done, in factories and then shipping that stuff out. It's totally different from having print, a bank of printers.
So does Mantic do any kind of traditional miniatures, or are they only kind of like, by traditional I mean like the hips plastic?
They do. Okay. Yeah, but I think more recently they're hips. Previously they're kind of ABS board gamey PVC. I don't know what the hell this is.
The gross stuff.
Yeah, the really like board game quality, really low detail. Like Mantic has always been heartbreaking when they'll do, like, they had early days. They had hips, zombies and skeletons, the best looking fantasy plastic minis for undead you've ever seen. And I think that was an attempt to go away from the cartoony Warhammer style and say, look, we can do realistic, non-heroic scale, like really great looking stuff. But then, when they did their sci-fi line, they're kind of 40K, it got real soft and real mushy, and it's really hard to get them painted to a nice fine detail, because even priming them, you're like, oh, that's even more detail gone. It's like
so it's like the opposite, right?
Yeah. So the early days, Mantic was a real far away from Games Workshop quality. They're much closer now. Their sculpts and kind of choices of factions are still a little like, but the like the stuff we got for Epic Warpath is beautiful. You could definitely. I didn't want to spend the money to do that, but you could definitely compare that side by side with the new Epic, the thing that Epic Scale that Games Workshop is doing, and I'm sure they would compare. But yes, but they and I think they even did start. I don't know if they did metal early days, but they did. They've done resin, like their characters come. Oh no, they did do metal, because you got some miniatures that were plastic and metal. Like you'd have a metal arm or a metal body and a plastic arm. Yeah, they did some really weird stuff for early days. But yes, so this is a big step for them, and I hope that it goes well. I hope this is
so basically they'll be printing all this STL stuff in-house.
Yes, all this print to order, which they're starting slowly. They aren't going to offer everything, because I think, and that makes sense, because you really want to get the quality nailed down, because there's so much random, just companies that are real fly by night with this kind of 3D printing stuff.
Well, you were saying last time, like there were reports of like people like pulling out bags of like uncured hunks of uncured resin. You're like, what?
Etsy merchants, just selling stuff that hadn't even been hit with any UV light, and they just threw it in a bag wet and gave you that toxic mess. So the levels of their memberships now are going to be just for the digital companion, which are all of their rules. For any single game is going to be £450, £4 50 pence.
All right,
a month, £450. The Club Mantic, which is going to be access to every rules to everything that they own, is going to be £7 50 pence. Vault only, which is their everything that's available in their STL releasing monthly. So it's not going to be, you're going to have a welcome pack, but it's only going to be from where you subscribe forward. And then the Fanatic, which is £15, which will be the Vault and Companion, which is what they offered for the early bird level, this really nice combined deal. And I panicked and I checked, okay, how much am I actually paying for this? Yeah. The early bird ends up being £10. So you're still getting a really good deal if you got in early days with this. There's no reason to cancel, because to get that same thing now, it's 15, and that will still offer they said they're going to grandfather in all the early bird stuff, and unless you have that combined thing, you're not going to get the like 3 months, 6 months,
Right.
12 months rewards. So it's got to be that. So yeah, we'll see how they're doing. So they're going to focus on special bundles, and like I said, they're going to start with the Epic War Path 4 factions, original factions, and a Salamander army for Kings of War for print on demand, so you can physically order the models. But they're going to do regular additions to this catalog because they've got an extensive back catalog of all this digital stuff already. The switchover is going to be complete by the end of February, where it's going to be just how they want it, and then they're going to start doing themed packs, curated collections based on factions, armies, and different terrain things. So yeah, it'll work well if you want the models. They'll be able to keep everything in print, and you won't need a 3D printer because eventually everything will be available print on demand. Of course, then they've got to get the quality thing down, and then they've got to get the shipping under control, because that's going to be really really frustrating as well. So selected vault designs will start to move from things that were originally only done for the vault will then also start to move into the that collection as well. So yeah, and I saw that they did that on My Manufacturer. They have bundles of the champions, their kind of starter Kings of War, like fixed army list. They started doing those sets as STO collections with a digital copy of the rules. So I was like, oh, you can just play this game. And that's interesting. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, the quality and the time that it takes to actually get these to you will be a big factor. But that means that they can, especially a lot of their older stuff, their miniatures from their older board games and stuff that they own the IP to, they can keep those, all in print. So we'll see how that goes. But so far, I'm really happy with the stuff they do in the vault. There's a lot of great terrain stuff and everything that, because you can scale it. It works with, the Epic game. It works with, the 28 millimeters, all that good stuff.
Scale it up to 32.
Yes. All right. And now, of course, Hasbro. So everyone's kind of laughing at this. Hasbro is being sued by its own shareholders for printing so many damn Magic cards.
Really interesting. Okay.
So yeah, so the investors are accusing them of destroying the long-term value of the brand. So we had the kind of anniversary, right? The 30th anniversary of Magic happened. Yeah, the same time that D&D was 50, Magic was 30.
Okay.
And they had that. I'm sure you got a couple of these. The $1,000 30th anniversary set, which none of the cards, they reprinted like Black Lotus and all of the really expensive cards, but none of them were legal play. But they still printed them, but they don't have any value because you can play with them in your bedroom.
Yeah, kitchen table.
Your kitchen table. But don't take them to a tournament. Did a bunch of licensed crossovers. There were as many as 6 discrete Dwight Schrute cards in Magic the Gathering. Because there's Spider-Man, Final Fantasy. I mean, anything you can think of, they did a licensed Magic set, which were basically just kind of reskinned, cards from from other sets.
I've seen a couple. The latest one was Avatar. And,
right.
And the Monster Hunter one.
They went a little crazy. So the investors are kind of say, hey, whoa, let's take a look at what was going on here. So 76-page lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court of Rhode Island, naming our favorite CEO, Hasbro's Chris Cox, who does cosplay at his during the 5 sessions of role play that he does a week or whatever nonsense he was saying on chat with ChatGPT. And also the former president, Cynthia Williams, as well as many other company executives, for breaches of their fiduciary duties as directors and or officers of Hasbro. So this is based on a 2022 a single Bank of America report saying that they were saying that Hasbro was overproducing Magic cards, which have propped up Hasbro's recent results financially, but as destroying the long-term value of the brand. Because all that licensing stuff just makes it nonsense. So let's see. So the lawsuit also alleges that the defendants repeatedly denied such speculation and materially false. They issued materially false and misleading statements to their shareholders. So this is talking about the 2021 to 2023 overproduced Magic cards, released a lot of extra products specifically to make extra revenue to cover shortfalls from other areas, which is basically toys. They can't make money on toys anymore. They can only make money with the Magic cards. So and this overproduction hurts the long-term health of the brand. So Hasbro, and so people love this headline because Hasbro sued for printing too many Magic cards is a lovely headline. So but what they're saying is they believe that the sustained demand for the product is going to be hurt with this like huge flood.
Yep, I could
just
see that.
to help make investors happy. So, and it's not good for players too, because now the market, and a lot of stuff, like if people were collecting, or people actually spent like $30 or something on a card that was rare, and then now it's just there's more copies of it coming out because it never made it on the reserve list.
There might be tournament,
yeah, right. You never know. But yeah, so it sounds like quite a mess. But yeah, Hasbro deserves it because they're not doing anything right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I forgot when I got out of Magic, but it was.
You never get out of Magic.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You actually never get out of Magic, right? Like, still in my dreams, untap, upkeep, draw, right? I'm just like
a bit like herpes.
I wasn't going to make that one, right? But I forget. I'm okay. A couple years ago, like I forget why, like bought some booster packs for something I was going to do, and that's when I'm like, hold on, like there's like the draft booster and like the other booster, and then like this booster. I'm like, what the are you doing? Like, why are there multiple boosters? And just, I mean, being in nerd circles, stuff floats across your feed, and you're just like, oh, so now there's an Avatar, now there's Monster Hunter, now there's like a Walking Dead, now there's all this other stuff, and then the Final Fantasy one. I'm just like, why? Why? Like all this extra stuff in addition to your normal core set every year, plus like your they don't call them like the blocks anymore. That's how old I am, right? Like the
right.
the three like the one story set, whatever they have for every quarter or half a year or whatever. And just like, why?
Yeah.
Why? You are just then. I mean, this is how old I am. Like when I was playing, Commander wasn't even a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now here's your Commander decks. All of a sudden, I'm just like, yeah. The hobby is full of whales.
Yeah.
Right. The hobby is full of whales.
A lot of speculators.
So take advantage of it, right? Company take advantage of it. But I kind of see the shareholders' point, being like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's amazing, like Warhammer, it's the thing that like, for some reason, just like maintains this fan base and this value, and people just never lose their interest in it for decades and decades. People just keep going back and getting battered, spending hundreds of dollars every couple of months just to keep up with some meta or, have tournament decks.
I do wonder. I've wondered about people who continue to support teams. But I do wonder what percentage of people, like we talked before, are playing like tournament level stuff, or what people are. What percentage of the hobby are these whales that are doing that? Right?
Yeah. I wonder. It's still. I mean, Commander is a great casual format. I really like that they did that because it's it's great. You don't have to like keep up on it. If you just have you have a couple of decks around, you can actually just play stupid Magic.
Or you just, like that's what. Hey, okay, trademark, right? That's our version. Stupid Magic, right? You can just play stupid Magic, right?
Let's play stupid Magic. Yeah, and the one time that you get with the commons, you built some decks that we just played.
I think that's called Cube Draft.
Yeah,
Want to do it again, right?
That was fun.
Yeah, you just like built your own little set, divided them up into little. I stole a whole bunch of little like Ariel, Little Mermaid plastic bags from my kid and made little draft packs. We did that, and you can just keep doing it. Right?
That was fun. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a crazy game. Bad company to have control of that. I think Hasbro is not the.
It is what's keeping Hasbro afloat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So they're not going to let that go anytime soon, and will continue to license weird stuff. It's kind of like becoming almost like Fortnite levels of like weird licensing. It is. All right, but so did you get your Darkest Dungeon board game?
I did not.
So Mythic Games is not going to send it to you because they're done. They're cooked. Put a fork in them. So the Darkest Dungeon board game did ship a wave 1 to like a specific area. So there was some physical fulfillment because it got to the point, but they're just like, because Mythic is financially just done, they can't do it. Plus there's other multiple projects out there that are completely unfinished. Right. Darkest Dungeon was the furthest along. But the Red Hook Studios, the publisher of the video game, talked to Mythic and asked them, "Can we do something here? Because there's a lot of pissed off people. It's kind of hurting our brand because we licensed this to you and you screwed it up." So there was a statement officially from Red Hook. They said, "At this point, Mythic Games is no longer able to manufacture or deliver the Darkest Dungeon board game. So Red Hook appealed to Mythic and said, can you share the project files? We want to make these available to everyone that was involved in the thing. So the digital files that were going to go to the printers and even the miniatures themselves, we're going to get those. So everyone that was involved that didn't get fulfilled is going to is being contacted, because this was an over $5 million Kickstarter. And they dropped the ball. I don't know how, like what percentage of that got fulfilled, but the estimated fulfillment was November of 2020.
Wow.
Yes. And I think we covered this in July of 2022. Mythic Games said, hey guys, can you give us a little bit more money? Because $5 million just wasn't enough to make this board game. And we also have a lot of other stuff we haven't paid for yet.
That's why.
They were saying, COVID, everyone's doing their COVID. Oh, their excuses were COVID and the Ukraine war, because whatever, because of course. But the first wave did reach some backers. Second wave never arrived. So probably like the expansions, maybe they did a number of the core games, got those out, but anybody that selected made the mistake of ship it to me all at once, probably never got anything.
Yeah, okay.
So second wave never arrived, and this was also true of their the Siege 6, the shooter, the first-person shooter board game based on whatever Battlefield or Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah, you want to see like a first-person shooter
board game. Yes. So yes, so Mythic finally went into liquidation October of 2025. So they are done. So we put our trust in Mythic Games, Red Hook says, to deliver on their promises and uphold Darkest Dungeon's name. We won't mince words. Their collapse and their inability to fulfill Wave 2 orders is an enormously disappointing development, and we know it deeply affects many Darkest Dungeons fans. So they got permission to share the copyrighted materials that were produced for the game. And Red Hook says all backers now should have received an email from the board game campaign, which outlines the situation. The email also includes a link to all game files. This includes files for the rules, 3D models, and more for you to download. So you can print and play this board game that never got fulfilled.
I was wondering what format the files were in, but yeah, I mean, okay, at least you got something.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah, no, I wonder like if people were able to get refunded. I'm sure there was nothing
left to refund.
Yeah, Mythic is just like, no, we don't have, our creditors, you got to get in that line.
We have nothing. Mythic Games probably out there with like wearing a barrel.
Yeah, so what do you think about that? It's like, bare minimum, or do you think that's a pretty good move? Because Red Hook is trying to save their...
Okay, I'm not a business person by like any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, I think that announcement basically summed it up, right? Like, they outsourced their game, right? And they're kind of like, okay, cool, we trust you to deliver this. Company went bankrupt and liquidated, right? What is the other company? What is Red Hook supposed to do, right? None of it was developed like in-house. They don't they don't have any of these things. So I mean, they could have done nothing.
Yes.
Right? But like you said, kind of like getting sued by your shareholders because you're damaging the brand. Right. Here was an example like, okay, this is damaging our brand. We need to do something. What is within our power to do? Yeah, I mean, I think they probably tried to make the best of a bad situation. So it doesn't, I don't know, like, if they were able to do more and then only did this, then it would be, nah, you did the bare minimum. But this kind of seems like you didn't have to do this. So, yeah. I mean, I'm sure people are still unsatisfied.
Yeah.
I don't know what you paid for a Dark Dungeon board game thing. But, like, you've been like, oh, I got these STLs and Adobe Acrobat files, or just like, I can't print these, right? I can't play a game, right? I would understand people being irritated, right? But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. And there's also 3 other unfulfilled projects that we talked about, and I think a couple of those were taken over. I think one of the I think Steamforged or somebody helped them, like said, okay, we'll take over the fulfillment of this. Right. Somebody stepped up.
I do remember that.
Yeah, for a couple of these projects.
Not all of them, but like a couple, yeah.
And I think the ones that weren't connected to like big IPs, like that they didn't have to deal with the licensing, change of hands or anything. But yeah, what a mess. So Mythic.
Because I never really thought about it, but if there was a change of hands with something with an IP, the owning company would probably be like, okay, now pay us our IP license. And like, whoa, never mind, right? Yeah.
Yes. So all kinds of business shenanigans and failures and nonsense. But let's end with something more positive. Cool. The Empire of Bones. So this is a second setting. Do you remember Painted Wastelands when that was crowdfunding? So this is kind of OSR setting. This is a hex crawling. The first one, Painted Wastelands, was kind of a psychedelic, kind of weird desert kind of hex crawl setting. and really amazing art. So it's a kind of a designer and an artist working together. They've crowdfunded several projects. I think some of them have been comics, but this is OSR powered, I think mostly set for old school essentials, like all the stat lines and everything. But that means you can play it with advanced or basic, expert D&D, but really good looking stuff. So you've left the real world behind in the painted wastelands, but welcome to a completely different and altogether more horrific nightmare. So you are surrounded by gnashing, biting, and tearing fangs of thousands of horrid ghouls hungry for your flesh. So you're lost in the darkest shadows of the painted wasteland. So this is kind of like a more horror setting, but still in this painted wasteland setting because it is very desert. The artwork reminded me, it's a bit psychedelic, but also reminded me a little bit of Mobius. Like it had that nice like French comic look, but really, and beautiful color stuff. So this is Agamemnon Press. So they're returning with a giant-sized sequel to their award-winning Painted Wastelands. So you can throw your players into the land of dust with Empire of Bones. So a jumbo-sized hex crawl, twice the size of the original Painted Wastelands, and as you can explore 21 areas of the unholy city of Zeb, a sickening and polluted city ruled by necromancers and their mummified politicians. So Zeb also includes 4 dungeons. Your players can then skip town and explore 36 hexes of the gray lands of dust, where they will discover glory and horror in the ghoul-infested ruins.
I was laughing because like hex 36, more gray dust. Hex 35, more gray dust. Like,
and a ghoul. Yeah. But they do a lot of fun stuff for this. So the city of Zeb, they print actual like paper currency for the city of Zeb as one of the add-ons. And they do custom dice, cool t-shirts because they've got awesome artwork. And they also do for this one, especially the kind of deluxe edition is really beautiful. Like they set the art kind of in a frame, like the limited edition kind of collector's version. The main artwork is kind of recessed back and with a embossed kind of frame of it. It's beautiful. Yeah. So take a look. I'll put a link to the description. There's also a free preview if you're just curious about how the system works.
It's nothing but ghoul teeth.
And so it's kind of like if you take a Troika setting and go really gonzo with it. Yeah. And it's just,
and here I thought Troika was already.
it's a little bit even more. Yeah. Cause there's a lot of kind of, just crazy. I think stuff that's really open to interpretation, like how the game master and how the players want to kind of interact with it. So it's really fun. So this is Agamemnon's 4th crowdfunding project. So they did Painted Wastelands, Strange Tales of the Painted Wasteland, The Player's Guide, An Unpronounceable Omnibus, and The Quest Unpronounceable, which I think were comics. But yeah, all of that's available on their website. And everything's available digitally as well if you just want to see some of this amazing art. But yeah, give that a check. I'm really enjoying old school essentials like the rule set, so it would be fun to take this into a really weird setting because
using that 36-sided die.
Yeah, no, not DCC.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Sorry. Right, wrong one.
Yeah, I want to roll into 36-sided die. It just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. It's really good. And so this is Tim Malloy and Chris Willett, designer and artist. And beautiful stuff. So check this out if you missed it the first time. It looks like a lot of fun if you like old school OSR and a new kind of weirdo setting.
A healthy dose of wackiness.
Yes. All right. So that is going to do it for this week. Yeah. So where can people find you?
I forgot. My brain just shut off all of a sudden. No, Blue Sky and Instagram. That's HiveMind, HYVEMYND, where it's basically all blackout stuff all the time. I don't know. My latest pictures were kind of tests of using weathering pigments for the first time.
Oh, right? Nice.
Because the setting of blackout is supposed to be like Martian dust. So I said, okay, I really want something that kind of looks like the box art so that the base looks like dust, not like painted gravel.
Yeah. Right?
So I got some of those Vallejo weathering pigments and I'm trying out stuff with them. And my biggest takeaway is don't wear your black work pants while you're using the like rust color Vallejo thermal weathering pigments. It did wash out, but for a while it looked pretty bad, right? So how about you?
All right. So I'm still doing a single panel gag cartoon. So abuse cartoons on YouTube and Twitch to watch some streams of me drawing it. And you can read the comic on GoComics. So gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And also check out RC Harvey weekly.com for some amazing cartooning and comics history that I worked on for many years. And it's open archive. It used to be a membership site subscription, but it's open archive, free to all. But if you like what we're doing here on the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
You can do that at patreon.com/upturnedtable. There's also other tiers to let us know what you're interested in as far as content on the site. And upturnedtable.com is the place where you can find everything that we're posting, and on all social media, Upturned Table. So we're going to be, so tomorrow we're going to go back to some old school essentials, the Palace of the Silver Princess with a new player.
Nice.
So we lost a player, we gained a player. So we're even.
Yep.
Yes. So, but a first time player, like,
Ooh,
never
nice.
never played tabletop before. So
cool.
it should be really fun. And then on Saturday night, Sunday, our time, we will do some Blackout. So hopefully we'll set up some kind of stream that you can watch what this thing looks like on the table and how it plays. And we'll do
when we get all the rules wrong.
we'll do a blackout stream. And the rules are available for free. So I'll put a link in the stream description so you guys can take a look at the rules while we're playing it to know what we're
You're doing it wrong.
what we're doing. All right. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be back again next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. All right. And we are back. So yeah, it's cold here, but yeah, I'm also covering up a, a new injury. I don't want to look like some kind of wounded veteran on the stream, so I got my hat covering up some pretty grisly stitches. So how is everybody doing? Yeah, so we had you may have noticed, yeah, we didn't have Swords of the Serpentine this week, but yeah, but we lost Will. Will's going to take some time off, and hopefully he misses it. Hopefully he'll miss it and want to come back, because that was really fun. I mean, just the early days stuff that just Matt, Will, and I did were really fun to get back into role play and have some great players to just try so many fun settings and systems and stuff. But yeah, we'll get back to something. But this will give us a chance to try some really stupid, teasy stuff and stuff that maybe play with some new combinations of players and see what nonsense we can get into. But yeah, it's good. Nice. Yeah. So I think I was talking about before the cast. Yeah, that jerryanderson.com is an awesome place if you like any Thunderbirds or Space 1999 or anything. They've got so many model kits, all kinds of stuff they produce for anniversaries of the shows and stuff. Everything's on there, free international shipping. And sometimes I've made that mistake of somebody doesn't have their Shopify set up right or whatever with shipping, and you order something and the shipping comes out as zero, and you're like, wow, free shipping international, that's expensive. But this really happened, and it came in a week. It came from England in a week. So yeah, we'll get Space 1999 on the table. And it also automatically gave you, Modifius is usually good at doing this. It doesn't always get automatically included, but you can request it. But they automatically included a big bundle of digital of PDFs for the book and everything. So we got to get back on some Space 1999, and also great assets now too, because I've got the book with all the plans and stuff. So slap that on the scanner and get some nice stuff for the campaign. But yeah, so it's good to see everybody. Yeah, so yeah, having to shelve Swords of the Serpentine. I know Matt reached out to Pelgrane Press and had some nice access, so that's a shame that we won't get to get through those 5 adventures. Nice. Hey Otero, nice to see you in the chat. Very good. And Abyss, of course. Nice. But yeah, Mythic Games. Yeah, Otero, Mythic Games is a fictional company. They really screwed up. That's too bad. Yeah, I think they got even more addicted than Come On to the that crowdfunding, like, oh, we can get another $1 million. If we just license this IP, we can get another $1 million and use some of that to pay for the last thing that we didn't finish. And yeah, I mean, 5 uncompleted projects. That's pretty deep. I think that's pretty close to what Come On was, the trouble they were in too. But yeah, that guaranteed, that weird pre-order system where you don't actually have to fulfill, there's no contract, there's no just like best efforts kind of thing with crowdfunding is bad. Yeah, so pretty crazy. Right. Oh, nice. Matt is saying so WotC is doing the Star Frontiers GM screen PDF, and 2 adventures are free now. That's pretty cool. That's cool. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll try some different combinations of things for for our actual play sessions and see what works. Arturo was saying one of the board games I crowdfunded just went gold. It's basically a board game with deck building elements where you play a mercenary general. I think it's 1v1. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, it's been, what's the worst thing? I'm trying to think of, I never lost like a huge amount of money, with pledge stuff. But some stuff had been crazy delayed. Like that Siege of the Citadel was like 5 years delayed. Yeah, that was crazy. And that's why the Mutant Chronicles license disappeared from Modifius, because they had just ruined any goodwill people had for them to do more. But yeah, just small stuff. Yeah, there was like small projects where the creators just disappeared or crapped out, and so nothing more than like $30 or whatever, and it never got to the point of like asking for shipping, so that's nice. You didn't get totally. And some people, some of those projects have been picked up by other people, and they don't have the rights to complete it or whatever, but they're trying to whatever was on hand. Or I think one of the companies, they inherited some old inventory, so they would fulfill the value of what you paid for this completed project with previous merchandise. So it's all kinds of wacky stuff going on. Yes. So we'll see. Yeah, so that's a new era for Upturned Table. We're gonna move into trying some other crazy stuff. We'll see how it's going. But but hopefully we can keep some fun stuff going on. And anybody listening or that's on the Patreon or anything, like hit us up if you really want to try with be interested in trying new combinations of players and games, and see if we can find some good chemistry, because every group, like every combination of players in every group feels different, so it's it's always good. It's fun that and if you can match kind of the setting and the system with the group, and everybody can enjoy it, so if it's not too crunchy or if it's not too light, like people that really like crunchy games and a lot of tactical stuff or a lot of min-maxing, get so bored and freaked out with rules light. And the opposite is true. People that just want to just tell me what die to roll and what I add to it, and I don't want to do anything else. So yeah, we'll try to find some good combinations. Yeah, hopefully it'll be fun to add a new player and see where we get. See if there is an upstairs to this palace for the Silver Princess. But I wouldn't mind trying. I don't know if everyone's people are enjoying that system. It might be fun to do some Painted Wasteland stuff, because the visuals for that would be really fun, and it's really oh, I can actually like bring that up. I forgot. We're on the solo part where I can pop up the screen. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. And do I have it? Yeah, I have it here. Boom. So sorry, I'm covering up a little bit of you guys' chats, but look at this awesome art. Yeah, so this is Empire of Bones. Do that a little bigger. There we go. They're not doing bad. So yeah, but 18 days left to go. But yeah, can you see kind of the Mobius kind of Euro comics inspired stuff, but really nice. Yeah, so I like this oh, and they did art prints too. That's good. That I like when they have a good artist, they have good art, and they kind of like flex and do art prints and t-shirts and stuff. But this is their deluxe version, so they've got it kind of inset, like the main art is inset, and then they're doing the the faux leather and the gold foil and stuff. But beautiful, look at that. Oh, that's right. And then there's a deck of kind of tarot cards, an awesome t-shirt, and the bills. The city of Zem's actual currency. Come on, you gotta love that. And I think a lot of this stuff for their previous campaign is also available on their site. They did another deck of cards and some other stuff, and of course dice. Yeah, and there's the art print of the main art. But something like this, if everyone's good with old school essentials and we want to do some weirder versions of it, this might be fun. So both this and the original, this is Tales. Yeah, and the original Painted Wasteland. You can also see. Okay, what am I looking at here? Oh, I can't paint. This is hmm, the original. I thought. Come on. How hard is this? So that's Strange Tales. This is. Yeah, this is the original one, right? Yeah, this finished last year. There we go. Yeah, so you can see, yeah, it has a lot of that. What's that? Azrock, the that kind of desert setting that Mobius did has a lot of that inspired feel. But as you can see, the art gets very so a lot of hex crawl, trekking kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of psychedelic imagery and stuff. So there may be some. I already saw in their preview there were like rules for drinking, getting intoxicated and stuff. So I'm sure there's all kinds of rules for mind-altering substances and stuff. Nice. Oh yeah, we got open. Yeah, that's right. Sessions on alchemy. Yeah, people can watch and join. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a while ago, but I've had no luck with rando stuff. Like people have asked me to join games, and they're playing with people they don't really know that they found who knows how. But rando stuff, I mean, you need a little bit of like, friends of friends, so it's like similar sensibilities and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and also everyone's availability. It's really hard to sync that up. I mean, especially because we're playing all over the world. I'm sure Abyss knows that. Abyss knows how unpleasant it is to straddle Japan and North America, time-wise. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what other trouble we get into. Yeah, Matt. I think that's a good. No pickup games. That always ends up getting kind of weird because it's disturbing the range of people's sensibilities and stuff, and especially just people essentially trolling, essentially trying to be difficult. If you just go to I'm sure there's subreddits or message boards on RPG websites that just the horror stories of how people just want to screw stuff up. Matt says don't want to institute a draft. But yeah, it definitely takes everyone's got to definitely be on the same page, and so that's what makes it, because the stuff we played in person here in Japan, it did really shift. If you had like more creatives, like when we did a lot of the Powered by the Apocalypse stuff, a lot of more creative and storytelling stuff, and then the stuff we did with 5e or Starfinder or whatever, you could even feel the difference when there's a big generation gap. You can feel the difference between how some people wanted to play, and you kind of want to lean into letting them have fun. So there's a lot of like weird min-maxing and stuff. But yeah, but just a couple. I mean, we did really well with just the three of us. So yeah, small groups work well in actual play. And especially when we're doing it where you're staying up late or you're getting up early, you want to have something to do, because you don't want to be falling asleep because you're just waiting for your character to be able to take a turn or do something. Yeah, nice. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. A new era. But I'm sure if we got Vaesen back on the menu in a few months, maybe we can tempt Will back into one of the characters that he really enjoyed playing. We'll have to see. But yeah, just keep me updated, Matt, on how Will is doing, because he probably won't pop up in any of the chats or anything for a while. But yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. I think we've been really lucky so far with groups. So yeah, some more old school essentials would be fun. Yeah, what was that? I won't go into too much, but yeah, I think my worst experience was definitely the Star Wars, the Fantasy Flight, back when it was still the Fantasy Flight, that Star Wars game. Yikes. That was a very no synergy group. I think only 2 people in the group knew each other, and of course, then they were full of inside jokes the whole time, and we're like, huh, huh, huh. And that's also, pre-pandemic, so nobody upgraded their streaming equipment, so everyone was using laptop microphones and all kinds of horrible things. It was really hard to listen to the whole range of stuff. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it's going. The internet is dark and full of schmucks. Yeah, that's the it is just amazing how some people just like want to live a permanently troll uh permanently troll the world and with every choice that they make, so it can make things very unpleasant. Yeah, but I love this art. I really I like the and I'm sure that's what they won. If they won some awards, I'm sure that's what they won for, because that's beautiful stuff. Yes. So yeah, so I'll take a look. I'll get a hold of maybe the original PDF and see if that would be fun to mess around with. It's too bad they're making so much like fun physical stuff for the table, but yeah, we're not going to get to do much with it. I guess we could do some digital bills at the table. Schmucks and villainy. A wretched hive of schmucks and villainy. But yeah, and I still really want to go. So now we've got Space 1999 full rule set. I'd still like to do that. This has pre-gens as well. I'd still like to do some Mutant Chronicles RPG, and try the Marvel thing too. I'd really like. And then also when Outgun Superheroes comes out, that'd be a fun thing to compare. Turtles came the remastered version. I don't think it's just a little bit revised. I don't think they did much to the rule set. So the Palladium fulfilled the Turtles books, so those came as well. And then Talislanta is also on the table. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Nice. Oh, interesting. Nice. So did you run the Powered by the Apocalypse version, the newest version, or the previous version? The previous version was like more BRP. Yeah, the original. I forget the original publishers, but it was updated. Helmgast, the more updated one, the one that Modifius distributes, I think is. That's where I got the little Bible version. They had that on clearance. So I didn't think I'd get a chance to play it, but it's not the gorgeous, because they do a really gorgeous art for the cult stuff. Oh, 1E. Oh, 1E cult. Oh, cool. Nice. Not the newfangled version, but they did edgy 90s version. Very cool. That would be fun to play that. And I almost called it Soylent Green. The X-Files Z one, I'd want to play. Yeah, that as well. And we still got to do at least a session or 2 of Psyworld. I want you guys to play Outlaw Psionics, like Scanners. We'll do Scanners, the updated movie. Nice. So not the PBTA, but they did a Bible, like a gold, or I think it's gold gilt pages. They just laid it out like a Bible. Took all the artwork out and just had the rule set in that little Bible form. I think I had that on stream like years ago. Delta Green. Thank you, Matt. Not Soylent Green, Delta Green. Yeah, but that's got a new and an old rule set too, doesn't it? Yeah. We'll have to find the best rules to play for each of them. Nice. But yeah, yeah, and it's funny because you want as much, depending on everyone's availability, as much time to play as possible, but that also means like somebody is always preparing something. So that's all, always somebody's got a lot of work going on. But yeah, but with some of the I think probably Alchemy, I haven't taken advantage of it as much as I should, but probably Alchemy with how they do their modules, they basically have the entire text digitally of the module with all of the illustrations that you can pop up and show the players written in there. And I'm still looking in the physical book, or I'm looking on a separate PDF, but in their official, like the licensed official modules, they do a really good job of presenting the entire adventures, any tables you need, any, stuff you need is all linked in their content, but it's done in like handouts and like that little side thing, and I'm never looking there for some reason. I'm always like thinking I got to read it out of a PDF, but I think that cuts down a lot of prep time and stuff, because you can, if you've read through the adventure, you can just go through it again and and this is what this looks like, and here's the tokens for this, and here's what this thing, what pops out of there. Oh, see you, Quark. Thanks for stopping by. Off to work. Yeah. Thanks. Quark was in early. That was great to see. But yeah, so much stuff. But we'll have to get back to well, I guess I have no idea how long. We'll see how everyone's like feeling about their characters, and if we want to keep doing some old school essentials with the characters we have, or if we have a total party kill, that will determine a lot of where things go from there. But yeah, there's some fun stuff. There's some very deadly things awaiting our players trapped in that palace. Oh wow. To ease the cringe of his 3 years of not having a single drop of alcohol, and Arturo is going to drive him to drink just for it's an antidote to cringe. Delta Green, 2 spinoffs. Oh, cool. Their house BRP. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. That's right. Soylent Green is people. Oh yeah, I finally watched. I don't want to spoil anything. Matt, I think, talked about it on the Discord, but I finally got through Pluribus, that Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad guy Gilligan. I watched that first season. I liked a lot of what they did. I really like things that have like a huge scale, but not like that, but they do it very economically, like very, clever, in a clever way. They do like a huge, like a worldwide event scale of something, and you feel it, but it's not like, ridiculous, CG or anything to create that sense of stuff. They just, in a very clever way, kind of do stuff. But oh yeah, we can take down that lovely window. Sorry. Boom. You can look at that PDF icon. Boom. But yeah, that was really good. Really well done. And I like how it teased, I think that's what Matt mentioned. It teased tropes, some sci-fi tropes. Like there was one episode that basically went through every Charlton Heston movie trope, and just kind of said, yeah, that's not happening. And I'm glad. I mean, they set it up for a second season, so I'm glad they left it where they did. Those short streaming series, it's interesting. It's hard to get really satisfied. They have to be very clever at pacing, and I think this did a pretty good job. I remember I was trying to avoid, before it was all out, I was trying to avoid watching it and spoilers, and people were saying it's moving slow, it's boring, but I think the pace of it was perfect. There was really good reveals, and each episode, you kind of like, is this what's happening, or was this where it's going, or is that? Yeah, I liked and it had the a smiling, calm, happy face with a lot of like weird intent behind it, kind of the same way like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of stuff, without leaning into any Red Scare tropes or anything, but just playing with that idea. But fun. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, good exploding some good cliches. Yeah, it was really really well done, really well written. But I think the main actress, really, you got to give a lot of credit to I'm never going to remember her name, but the main actress did a really good job of being unlikable, and there's a really important reason why she's unlikable, and you can relate to it, because that didn't happen, especially with me, with Skylar in Breaking Bad. I just have trouble. I want to go back and watch Breaking Bad, but I can't get past Skylar's. I don't want to sit and there's so many scenes and so many lines I never want to hear again. I fucked Ted. I never want to hear so many of those. And a lot of people have said, if you, on a second viewing, you get her character a lot more, and it you know, it's a lot better. You feel that better, but oof. Yeah. It's rough. Oh yeah. I'm halfway through. I guess it's also coming out weekly, so it's not finished anyhow. I watched a little bit of the second season of Fallout. I don't know what they're doing with that. Yeah, it's and I guess it's kind of hard to connect that to a coherent show and stuff. It's just a lot of you know, showing stuff. Here's Death Claws and here's Las Vegas, and yeah, they're doing a lot of Vince Gilligan. Thank you, Matt. But yeah, I think you got to give a lot of credit to the main actress from that Pluribus, because she does a really good job of being relatable, angry, miserable person, and I think in the hands of another actress or maybe other writing as well, it would just be too annoying of a character. You don't even care. But it's really important that she's annoying. And it's really important that she's like, non-traditional in certain ways. And it's really good that, she made her living in a way that wasn't satisfying to her. There's like so many like interesting things about that character that made it so important that it was her, that this whole story hinges on. Yeah, I think Walton Goggins is definitely carrying that show. I don't understand. There's not the characters aren't progressing very well, and it's just kind of look at this wackiness. Look at this wackiness. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not completely. Can't wait for the next episode. Oh, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The Duncan Egg stuff is pretty good. It's really unsatisfying though for weekly releases for only to be 30 minutes. That's really unsatisfying. You definitely need an hour if you're going to do it release weekly. It definitely has to be an hour, because 30 minutes is so short. And it's really unsatisfying, but they're doing a nice job of embellishing those stories, which are pretty simple, but it's so fun. I just love the Game of Thrones stuff. The only reason that I like the Game of Thrones stuff is because of the YouTubers that do all of the Westeros history and Seven Kingdoms history stuff, or like, connecting the lore and the setting and stuff. That is much more, I mean, I don't like that with Star Wars or any other setting, but for some reason, Game of Thrones stuff, like people that are really into it, like Alt Shift X does great breakdowns, and this is who this is, and this is how they link, and we're going to see this, because that show, especially the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, is supposed to be kind of a lighter take, but during really major events. Like they're like these R2 and C3PO kind of like characters going, that are involved in like really major events that happen in the history, but are not, not the main players. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I'm enjoying how that's. Although I hope they stop doing they have to do some real viral, kind of cringy thing at the beginning of every episode, so that's what the internet picks up on that week. So they're doing a weekly release for a 30-minute show, and they're doing some like, oh, Dunk is shitting, and then the knight, the hedge knight, has a big prosthetic schlong. They begin like, okay, can we stop having to do this? That was the thing with House of the Dragon. They were doing like weird prosthetic fellatio scenes and stuff, and like some of the later episodes of the second season, like, what is this? How is this? What? What are they doing? Like showing full penetration orally, but showing full penetration. It's like, what is this? Why is this a thing? That was really weird. But yeah, if you haven't read those stories, it's really fun, really light and kind of fun in the Game of Thrones setting without it being, there's no intrigue and there's no Game of Thrones. There's just a hedge knight and a little bald kid who's actually a prince. But yeah, it's fun. The Dunkin' Egg stuff is fun. I like how they're yeah, I would definitely yeah, I think binging those would be much more fun. And I guess they're just going to do like one season is going to be one little part, like one of the novellas. So they're going to have to add a lot of scenes to it because just not enough happens in the books to do a whole like full season. But yeah, definitely watch those when they're all out, Matt. They're very fun. It's fun to go back to that setting, and I love the YouTubers that cover that. Some of them, I'm sure there's a lot of terrible ones, but some of the guys that cover that stuff, that's the thing I loved, even when I was hating the later seasons. I mean, anything after season 4 of the original Game of Thrones series was just getting horrible, but still it was really fun to hear the people, the speculation of the what is it, the Azor Ahai, the origins, like the who were Jon Snow's parents, and all that stuff was really fun as that series was going on. The show itself was getting less and less fun to watch, but yeah, it's very good. Oh, that's right. That the anime, the fantasy anime, yeah, that got huge promotion. That was like being promoted everywhere, and I think it's on like multiple, in Japan at least. It's on like multiple streaming platforms. It's like Amazon, Netflix, and something else. It's everywhere. The elf that lives forever. Always Japan like hyper focuses on some weird aspect of fantasy. Who was I talking about with that? But like Goblin Slayer is like, oh yeah, if you can't kill the monsters, they do really bad things to you. And then Delicious in the Dungeon is like, oh yeah, and we go into the dungeon to eat shit. And now this Fieron, the trope that they do right away is, oh yeah, the races live for different ages. So this one elf goes back to visit people that she adventured with, and they're all old people. They're all old and dying, and she's still the same little cute anime elf that she was 100 years ago. But I haven't gotten into it, so I don't know. Yeah, full dong. That's right. Arturo saying. Yeah, that was weird. I hope they stopped doing that. They trying to do some real click, or what do you call that? Just like, real stuff to get attention on social media at the beginning of every episode. That's weird. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of funny. I guess I don't spoil anything for me. I want Matt to get the full effect. Some of the choices were fun, but yeah, it's they don't need to keep doing that. Yes, that's right. Yeah, the Abyss is correct. Season 6 to 8, but already like by season 5, it was already like, okay, like they were out of book, and the dialogue started getting ropey. The relationship between the characters, all the female characters became like super powered. Like we're controlling the destiny of everything, and it just became this like struggle between all of the women of Westeros. Like, what is happening? Yeah, but yeah, by season 8, and it's so funny, they just chopped that. They just like literally bailed on it. They're just like, we're out. Just how much money give us? Okay, yeah, I think we can do 6 episodes. We're noping out on this whole thing. That was bad. Oh wow. Okay, Abyss. I have to get, yeah, even. Yeah, I don't know. I had trouble. I watched the first episode of the first season and had trouble getting into it. But if it's good, I mean, because I can understand, there's maybe something there, and especially like in fantasy stuff. So I'll give it another try, Abyss, because I have been trying to. But I am definitely like, I think for anime, like 90s is about as far as I can get. Maybe early 2000s. There's a couple of things, but I couldn't get into. There's so much recent stuff like Chainsaw Man and War on Titan and a lot of stuff that's popular. I cannot watch it. I can't. I can't do it. I don't know why. But yeah, but we'll have to We'll see. We'll see. Because I like stuff that was good fantasy inspiration. What was I watching recently that I thought was really good inspiration? Damn. What was that? I was watching something really stupid, but I'm like, but this is really good, inspiring stuff for role play. What was it? I've been watching a lot of stupid stuff. Every time I think of something, there's one streaming service here that they have the rights to all the Warner Brothers HBO stuff, and they don't have everything on there. Like they don't have a lot of the Adult Swim and stuff on there, but they've got a really good back catalog. And every time I think of something, oh, I haven't seen that, and they always have it. It's always up there. The quality is not great. Some of the it's definitely not 4K. There's like some really nasty looking video, but they do have a lot of 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff, like all of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti western stuff, and a lot of the just a lot of like really great stuff. I watched The Conversation and what else? Just some really random stuff. I'm like, oh, I've never seen it, or I haven't seen it for a long time, and they always have it. It's very crazy. Oh, interesting. Obviously, it's not that it's good; it's special. Interesting. I think there's I can see in that first episode, like what they were setting up and what they were kind of gonna go for, but I don't know. Every anime character is starting to look and sound so similar. I really like some, I don't know what it is, and maybe it's just because of the production process and how the studios are working now, but they're not getting any really unique character designers to do stuff. Everything is looking very samey. Everything sounds very samey. And maybe that was always true, and maybe I just prefer like the sound effects and the voice, acting and stuff of the 90s, 80s and 90s compared to now. But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I can't believe, it's getting a lot of promotion and going strong. Hot D, that's right. I think that's what one of the YouTubers was calling it, Hot D, all the time. Yeah, but that was weird. That second season was really weird. We're like building up. Okay, here it comes. Oh well, here's that'll happen next season. We kind of ran out of money. But I think that's the big problem with the Game of Thrones stuff, and especially House of the Dragon, because it gotta be dragons, and a lot of dragons in it, and that's expensive. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, nice. Yeah, Dragon Quest VII demo got hit by the JRPG bug. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Xenoblade Chronicles, nice. And the Dragon Quest. Yeah, they've got the first 5 Final Fantasy games. They kind of update. I don't know if there's much of an improvement. Probably just like replace some of the sprites, but I'd like to play through the stories of those early Final Fantasy games. Those are really fun. They put those all on like a Switch collection. I think it was for everything, Switch and PlayStation 5 and everything. Nice. That's right. This is very elf based, Abyss. I'm kind of worried this is a big pivot towards kind of pro elf. A pro elf thing. I'm not sure how we feel about this. Yes. So yeah, we'll see what we can get up to. Any other? Yeah, so I think the games are going to be pretty quick, so we might have a couple of quick matches on Saturday night. Your guys' time for Blackout. But I really want to see if they figured out a rules light Infinity kind of feel or not. We'll have to see. But yeah. Yeah, I got to get back into doing so. I'm just, this has been another bad week for me. All the stuff. But we'll get back into it tomorrow with a nice fun OSR session. And I'm really excited to see how Terrence kind of, how he kind of goes for it, because I think the group itself is very supportive of player choices and stuff. So it'll be fun to see how it goes. Things are getting weirdly political right now. Abyss, what's going on here? Elves are people too, says Otura. Pointy-eared people, full of themselves and kind of snobby. What's with that lifespan? Jeez Louise. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I keep saying that because I have no idea what I'm gonna be capable of, or what we'll actually do. So I want to do a flip through right away of the Space 1999 to stay excited about it. So I'll go through both the operations manual and the book. And it's interesting, they did a very similar design, like the UV coating and all the stuff is very similar. The spot, kind of the spot UV stuff is similar in both books. So I think maybe the same designer had a hand on it, or they just made them match. Unfortunately, though, one is the operations manual is horizontal, and the Modifius, the rule book, thank God, is a vertical kind of portrait presentation, not landscape like they tried with John Carter. I would like to get my hands on that, the redo that. Oh, maybe no, I don't think they did a physical book. That's right. I think they only did a PDF. They did they changed the orientation of the John Carter book digitally, but I don't think they ever made a physical version of that. Yeah. And they still have. I was looking, Modifius sent me some spam for some sale that they had, and I was looking at the Dune books that I don't have, and they still have that $500 Spanish leather version of the core rule book for Dune on the website. So they pretended like they sold out of those, and they got a lot of attention on social media for creating such an expensive version, but it's still available. So whatever couple hundred that they did never sold out. Or people were just like, can I cancel my order? I got caught up in the social media hype. I don't really need a $500 Dune rule book. But maybe with a third movie coming out, that they'll sell them off. Oh, that's right. Yes, Otra wants the record of Lotus War ears. Oh yeah, damn. Oh yeah, I like that in the Japanese design that they do the, not rabbit ears, but almost completely out. What does that look like? Yeah, but the almost completely horizontal ears on the anime elves. All right. But yeah, so we'll be back about this time with some more Palace of the Silver Princess, and you'll never believe how Terrence's character will enter the game. I gave him a little bit of description of what's going on, but it should be fun. We will see. Oh, it's right. Yeah, they tell the trolls elves ears never stop growing. Longer and longer. Cool. So yeah, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Marvel Multiverse stuff. Oh yeah, I should go through the Talislanta stuff as well. Talislanta and that big epic set. And then Space 1999 coming up on the channel, so you guys can see what those books look like and get a sense of those games and systems. So yeah, and I'll put a link to our our playthrough of the quick start for Space 1999. It seems like they dropped it really fast though, because it's not I think they just have the book. They didn't do a GM screen or anything for Space 1999, so it's probably a quick one and done for Modifius with that. But I'm glad it happened, and it's a definitely a playable system. So we'll see. We'll have to make our own fun. We'll have to get all season 2 and weird in a campaign. But yeah, so we'll see everybody tomorrow, same time, for some crazy old school dungeon crawling. And yeah, and we'll just figure out from where we'll go. Maybe just stick to like once a week for a little while until we kind of regain, figure out our schedules and what we want to do on the channel. But yeah, everybody take care, and thanks so much for the awesome chat and the members and subscribers. Thanks so much. Subscribers thank you for the many subscribers, the members and patrons. Thank you so much for the support that makes every game that we play possible, every VTT that asks us to subscribe, everything. Yeah, we got to finish. I got to make it work as good as possible. I subscribe to Dungeon Scroll. We got to get through this dungeon, so I don't have to keep paying for Dungeon Scroll. I think you're really limited without that on Roll20. Yeah, I'm too deep into that horrible ecosystem. All right, ecosystem. Let's do this again soon. So thanks again, and see you next week. Goodbye.